So as you may have heard last week, the Supreme Court rejected President Biden's student debt relief plan. The intent of that plan was to give 90% of the available funds to people who made less than $75,000 per year. And yet you'd get zero, none of it, if you made over $125,000 per year. Listen to what he had to say.
Up to $10,000 for many borrowers and up to $20,000 for those who had gotten a Pell Grant. Nearly 90% of the relief would have gone to borrowers, 90% of it, making less than $75,000 a year. And no one making over $125,000 a year would qualify. This program was all set to begin. The money was literally about to go out the door. And then Republican elected officials and special interests stepped in. They said, no. Literally snatching from the hands of millions of Americans thousands of dollars in student debt relief that was about to change their lives.
So first of all, let me share, I get it. I've got a daughter going into her senior year of high school next year. So very soon as a family, we're going to be having these same conversations about student debt. And like many of you, perhaps, I've had my fair share of setbacks in life. Many of them have been financial. But at the end of the day, there's two things I know for sure. Number one is hard work pays off. And number two, God has a plan. When I think of Biden's proposed plan, I have a lot of thoughts. But one of my thoughts keeps going back to the people who do make that $125,000 per year. The ones that aren't going to get any of that debt relief if the plan even made it through because of their income. These are the ones that went out, worked hard, developed a plan, and it's working for them. So if you put yourself in their shoes, not only are they not getting any of their debt paid off, but their tax dollars from their $125,000 a year is going to pay the debt of the people who make less than $75,000 per year. Or at least that's where most of the funds are going. So these guys are probably like, I'm making $125,000 a year. I don't get any of my debt paid, but yet I got to use some of my money that I'm earning to pay for theirs because they didn't make it. But let's flip it around and put ourselves in the shoes of the person making $45,000 a year who's fresh out of, let's say, 4 years of college, and then they have some student debt. But I guess even before that, one of the things I think we need to do much better as a society is make sure we're reminding people that that college degree is not going to guarantee you a high earning income. The document is not going to replace hard work, grit, and persistence. But let's say they didn't necessarily realize all of that before they signed up for the loan and then proceeded with 4 years of college, graduated, and are now sitting with this debt. I still can't see where it makes sense to use additional tax dollars to help pay for this person's debt. Because isn't that what the Pell Grant is for? Pell Grants are federally funded grants to help people who have trouble paying off their student debt. Not to mention, there are millions and millions of dollars sitting in accounts around this country that are specifically designated to help students with their college loans. These funds are donated by people who want to help with these causes. But let's shift gears one more time and let me share this with you. Let's say someone got out of high school and didn't go to college, but instead this person decided to join the US military. So on one hand, we've got someone that's 5 years out of high school, they spent 4 in college, and they're in their first year of their career. Now they're sitting somewhere making $45,000 a year, they've got college debt, and we want to give them money to help them out. But back to the guy or gal who joined the military, let's say they're a sergeant in the US Army in their 5th year of service. Did you know that according to the 2023 pay scales, which are public, you can look them up, that person's only making roughly $41,000 a year. So if we're going to give money to someone from our tax dollars, don't you think that's just one prime example of a better use of funds? You see, I don't think it's a matter of does the person with college debt deserve help. I think it's a matter of there's just only so many funds in the bucket and we have to prioritize what we're going to do with them. Again, I can't claim to have all the answers and I certainly haven't done all of the research, so I'm open to different perspectives. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts if you'd be kind enough to leave them in the comments below. Until next time, may God bless you.